Well, hi, friends, and welcome to NC Family's weekly update for the week ending January the 12th. Hey, Jerry. Hey, Sharon.
Hi there.
How are y'all doing today?
Very good.
Hey, good.
Good, good. Well, friends, we are entering into the election season in earnest. Of course, on Monday, the Iowa caucuses take place on January the 15th. So that is like the first official electoral event, and it's going to be interesting to see what takes place in Iowa and then in New Hampshire after and so forth. Of course, North Carolina's primary election is on March the 5th, Republican Super Tuesday, because a lot of primaries are taking place then. So, we're really interested in those primary elections. One project that NC Family is working on right now is a votes report from this past legislative session, the 2023 legislative session. And we wanted to just give you a heads up about that and let you know that that will be coming in the next couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. Sharon, tell us a little bit about some of the issues that we're going to be covering in this votes paper.
Well, just like we ask everyone during the week to support us with the bills that are coming up, we're going to be really reporting mostly on those, the ones that are of super interest to NC and their families and individuals. So one of them would be like the fairness in women's sports, the transgender procedures on kids, Parents' Bill of Rights, all the things that we've asked you to partner with us to do. There are going to be some votes that we're going to report on that aren't necessarily on the bill itself, but on amendments.
Yes.
Whether they were good or bad, we want you to know who voted for what. And so some of those were particularly in the budget, like things for the opportunity scholarships and for decreasing funds for the Human Coalition, which is a pro-life group that we work with.
Yeah. Well, that's great. And these are actually recorded votes on the floor of the State House or State Senate. It's the official record.
Yes.
And so it's really important and very helpful to let you know how your incumbent legislators, those who served in the 2023 session, voted on these really important issues.
Right.
We'll also be covering issues of the sanctity of life. There was a major pro-life bill, of course, Senate Bill 20 that was passed this year, and a number of other things. So we want to let you know, and we have really gone through all of the recorded votes on these bills of interest to identify those that are most important and really most informative as far as where legislators stand on these issues. So we're excited to be compiling that, and as soon as that is ready for publication, we will let you know, and we'll be sending that information out to you. Jerry, of course, you've been with the Family Policy Council for many years, and I know that you have seen the value of us providing this kind of information to citizens across the state. And this is done in addition to our voter guide, which we do in preparation for the general election, which will be taking place in November. But this votes report is important to inform citizens across the state about how legislators voted. So tell us a little bit about kind of what your observations are as far as that's concerned, how it's been helpful in the past.
Yeah. One of the things that's rare is the number of votes from this past year. I look back over the last 6 or 8 years, there were only a few votes on some of the important issues that we work on. In this case, as Sharon, you and John have both mentioned, we got over 10 specific votes that members have taken on issues. And quite honestly, it's rare to be able to find where candidates stand, especially in primary elections. That's before many, if any, voter guides are available at all. So this resource is one that, along with our voter guide for the general election, will be helpful, but especially for this primary election. And as y'all mentioned, a number of the votes, and some of the ones that, again, don't typically get voted on, that I know we mentioned a number of them, but then pornography, marijuana, gambling. Again, there's specific votes. This is information you won't find generally on a candidate's website, sometimes even on a voter guide, because not all candidates respond. Right. So this is something that's public record, very helpful, clear indication of where people stand, which is for you all, for us as voters, is very important information to have.
Yeah. Well, and you're absolutely right, Jerry. A lot of times what we've seen in the past is that some of these important bills have been rolled into the budget or are kind of put together or somehow kind of masked. So it's hard to really identify and say, hey, this legislator's vote on this specific issue it's where they stand on that issue, because there may be other things in a bill that they might say, hey, I was voting on that. And, so there were a lot, and as you said, more than what we have seen recently as far as specific recorded votes on a lot of our key fundamental issues. So we're really, again, excited about this report. So keep your eyes open. We'll be getting information out about that as that report is finalized and is available for publication and distribution. So we're excited there. Well, friends, just wanted to give you a heads up on that. Of course, the legislature is still sort of meeting potentially on and off. They've scheduled like one day per month for sessions, should they deem or see a need to hold those sessions. But the short legislative session will be starting at the end of April. And so as we lead up to that, certainly we'll see more activity at the legislature, and we'll be providing more information about what that legislative session is likely to look at. We certainly expect that we're going to be seeing legislators considering gambling, casinos, video lottery terminals, which are essentially video poker machines, as well as marijuana legalization, and possibly a number of other really important issues. So we will let you know as those things come to light. So anything else, Jerry, Sharon?
No. Again, we're hopeful this again will be a resource that, as the primary election, which when you mentioned the date, John, I hadn't realized that's coming up
It's coming
quickly.
up. It'll be here before we know it.
So we will have that out there, and again, hopefully be a good way for us all to be better informed voters as we're making those decisions.
Yeah, exactly. Well, friends, thanks. God bless you. God bless your families, and we will see you next week.